In the previous video, we have set up a Google Cloud Run container for one region. In this video, we are going to focus on setting up multiple Google Cloud Run containers for different regions. So let's get started. The steps are going to be the same as from the previous two videos. So we are going to start by creating a new Cloud Run service. And I'm going to call this service name Cross Cloud US, and I will keep this one the same. Then we will need to create some new subnets for the two regions. So I will head to VPC network into the existing VPC network subnets, and here I will click to create a new subnet called Cross Cloud US subnet with the same region that I have set it up for the Cloud Run, which in my case is US Central 1. And then I will need to add the IPv range. Here I have just changed 10880 instead of 10870, as we can see that the primary IPv4 range for the EU subnet is. And the reason for this is because if I choose absolutely the same one and try to edit, then I'll get a warning that this IPv4 address range overlaps with an existing subnet. So the IPv4 range needs to be unique. Then I will add one more subnet for the previous container that I have created, which in this case was the Australian one. And the specific region and IPv4 range. Moving on, let's create the serverless VPC access connectors. So here I will click to create a new connector, and I will call this Cross Cloud US Connect with the same network and the specific US subnet. And I will also create the subnet for Australia. If you don't see the specific subnet that I have created, you will need to refresh the page, as it could be that it hasn't already finished creating. Moving on, let's create the cloud routers. So I will look for cloud router, and I will click to create a new router called Cross Cloud US router with the network of VPC network and the region US Central 1, and create. And then I will add the last router, which is the one for Australia, with the same VPC network and the region for Australia, and create. Next, let's create some IP addresses. So under VPC network IP addresses, I'll click to reserve a new external static IP address called Cross Cloud US IP with a standard service tier and reserve, and one more static address for Australia. Moving on, let's create some new CloudNet gateways. So I will look for CloudNet. And here I will create a new CloudNet gateway with the name Cross Cloud US Net Gateway with the VPC network and US Central 1 region using the US router. Then here I will choose manual CloudNet IP address, standard, and here I can pick the US IP and create. Then I will do the same for the Australian one. So now we should have some new IP addresses that we can use to add to our cloud project. So I will copy the name for example, the Australian one with the specific IP address and the last one for USA. And lastly, we will need to connect these VPC networks to the cloud runs. So I will start, for example, with the Australian one, edit and deploy new revision, networking, connect to VPC for outbound traffic, use serverless VPC access connectors using the VPC network, then route all traffic to the VPC. And we can see in this case that when we have selected to use the serverless VPC access connectors, it has automatically picked the correct connector for the Australian in this case. And lastly, let's do the same for the USA container. So now if we check the URLs for the Australian Cloud Run, we can see that the frontend is absolutely the same as the one that we have on our Umbraco Cloud project and on our Europe Cloud Run, and it will be the same for the USA Cloud Run as well. As we have noticed, each region has its own link, so the next step will be to put all these region containers behind the load balancer so that we have only one link which will serve the front-end to front-end users. So in this video we have set up Google Cloud Run containers for multiple regions. See you in the next video.